Hello everyone. Today we will see about VStock maps or transformations. So transformations can be applied either at a receive port or at send port or even at a orchestration level. So like if we are going to apply map at the receive port, it is said to be inbound maps. We can apply more than one map at the receive port and the map is executed based on the message type. Similarly, we can specify more than one map to be executed on the send port, but a specific map is selected based on the message type and it is executed. Inside orchestration, we can apply the maps, but we may need to copy the context properties. And orchestration supports multi-part message mapping. Let's say we would receive a order request message and we need to transform it to the outbound format. So we would do a transformation from order request to outbound format. Let me add an existing item of outbound format schema, and here is my outbound format schema. Let me add a map, add new item, select the map and name it as source to destination format. So on the map I will select the source schema as order request, and on the destination I will select the outbound format schema. So I will do a one-to-one mapping for transaction ID and event ID. So on the source, if you see, we get the product name, but on the destination you have product ID and product name. So we can use a database lookup functoid to achieve it. So there are a lot of functoids available in VStock. We can use according to the requirement. So how database lookup functoid works is like it takes an input parameter, then looks up in the database and takes the corresponding value and maps it to the product ID. So I will connect to the database. I have a table called product which has product name, and we will take the product ID as the output and map it to the outbound schema. So based on the input we would be retrieving the product ID and mapping it to the outbound format schema. So this can be achieved by using database lookup functoid along with value extractor. So database lookup functoid takes 4 parameters. One is the lookup value, second is the connection string, third is the table name, and fourth is the column for the lookup value. So I have kept the connection string handy. This will be the table name product, and column name is product name. So we will use a value extractor functoid to extract the product ID. But the database lookup functoid, what it will return is like it will return a complete record set, and we will use the value extractor functoid to extract the specific data from the column. So here I will provide the product ID. It will take two parameters, lookup, database lookup, output, and the column name that we are going to extract. I will do a one-to-one mapping for content, and let us use a scripting functoid where we will concatenate document name and file type. So we can either call an external assembly or write an inline C#. So I will uncomment the existing method. Either I can use that method, or I have written a logic to concatenate based on the value that we get. So this is a simple concatenation functoid, concatenates the document name and the file type. So I will map the inputs to the scripting functoid, and from the output I will map it to the document name on the outbound schema. So if you see, the document list contains a count attribute. So we will provide the document count to the count attribute in the document list. Similarly, the product list also contains a count attribute. You will take the count of product and map it to the count attribute in the target. And product has a sequence attribute. We will use a iteration functoid and map the input from product record and map the output of the iteration to the sequence attribute in the product of the outbound schema. Now we can do a test map. So go to the properties and change the validate input and output instance to false. Generate an instance of input file. And use this input instance as a test input for the map. Right click on the map and provide the input instance and then do a test map. Now click on the output and you can see the document count as 4 and product sequence as 1 and product count as 1, but we don't see the other elements of the documents. This is because we might need to loop through each document and map it to the target, or we might need to set the property on the source to unbound. So I will change the property of the document to unbound on the source, and let's do the test map. And if you see, now we can see the count and the document container matching. You can even debug the map. Let's deploy the solution. Now let us create a receive location and send location folders, where BizTalk will be polling the message, and after doing the transformation either at send or receive, it will send it to the out folder. So I will create a new port. So here are our artifacts that we deployed, and all the artifacts are available under the single resource. Let me create a receive port, and I will add a receive location to it. Receive port can have multiple receive location. I will configure the receive directory, and I will choose a XML receive pipeline. So we have to use this pipeline in order to promote the context property. Let me add a send location. After transformation, it will send the message to the out directory. So we will apply a map at the receive port. On the send port, I will add a filter condition to subscribe to a specific message. As we are doing an inbound mapping, the message type we should be subscribing is http://biztalk dj.basicconcept.outbound format #order details. So this will be the combination of target namespace, hash, and then the root node of the outbound schema. I will add a new filter condition, and I will choose vts.message type and provide the message type of the outbound schema. So now let's start the receive and send and process a file. message got picked up and it is available in the out folder as a transformed outbound format message. So if you see, product lookup happened and product ID is mapped as 1. Let's process one more file. This time we will have a different product name. We will have it as escrow. Let's process the file and verify the output. And this time product ID is set to 2 on the outbound format schema. Now let me stop the send port and process a file just to verify the context property. As the send port is stopped, message is not published to the directory. It will be available in the admin console. I will run a new query, or you can click on the existing query. So on the error information we can see the error. It says like the service is stopped, and going to the message tab you can see the message body, and on the context you can see the promoted and non-promoted properties. So it would have a receive port name promoted to the context and message type promoted to the context, and what is the adapter that it is receiving, and the receive location also is available in the context as a promoted property. Let me add one more send port, and this time it will subscribe based on the receive port name. So my filter condition will be bts.receive port name. I will provide the receive port name, and I will use a file adapter and create a new folder for my new subscriber. Let me remove the inbound mapping done at the receive port, and I will go to the send outbound format port. I will add an outbound mapping. As the inbound mapping is removed, now I have to change the subscription property of the send port. This time it should subscribe based on the source message type, which is nothing but http://dj.basicconcepts.schema.order request #order request. It is a combination of target namespace, hash, and the root node of the source schema. So let's process order request message, and this time transformed message will be available in the out folder, and the original message will be available in the out one folder. This is because send port is doing outbound map, and the other send port is subscribing to the original message received on the port. So we can do either an inbound or outbound mapping depending upon our requirement. Thanks for watching the video.